ओके अस्सलाम वालेकुम। सो हमने टेल ऑफ टू सिटीज़ के शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस जो हैं वो स्टार्ट किए हुए थे। दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड की थी ये वीडियो, क्योंकि 40 इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस हैं इसके। 20 जो हैं वो फर्स्ट पार्ट में थे, 20 आज वाले पार्ट में होंगे। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट टुडेज़ वीडियो। 21 से स्टार्ट करने हैं आज हमने क्वेश्चन। वाई डिड डार्ने लिव इन इंग्लैंड इंस्टेड ऑफ फ्रांस? Darnay disliked the cruel injustice of the French social system, so he left France and used to live in England. What qualities do make Darnay a real hero? Darnay is a noble fellow. He tells his true identity to Dr. Manette. When he marries his daughter, he goes France to save Gabelle, who is innocent. By doing so, he runs a risk of his life. Where is Tellson Bank situated? Tellson Bank is situated in London, and there is also one of its branches in Paris. Why does Jarvis Lorry go to Paris? Jarvis Lorry goes to Paris with Lucy to take back Dr. Manette to London. He is informed about Dr. Manette after his discovery from a basement. After reaching Paris, where do Jarvis, Lorry and Lucy go? After reaching Paris, Jarvis and Lucy reach at a wine shop which is owned by Mr. and Mrs. Deforge. How does Dr. Manette recover after going sentimental? Dr. Manette recovers with the help of love and attention of his daughter Lucy. He now lives in London and is ready to marry his daughter with a suitable guy. When does the French Revolution break out, and who led it? The situation of law and order in France is the worst. The masses revolt against government in 1789 under the leadership of Mrs. Deforge. What does happen when Charles Darnay go to Paris? Darnay is arrested and is sent to La Force jail as he goes into Paris. Why did Mr. Lorry go again to Paris? He goes to Paris to look after the affair of Tellson Bank in Paris. There is second branch of Tellson Bank. How is Charles set free after long imprisonment? Charles is set free after 15 months with the struggle of Dr. Manette. Dr. Manette proves that Charles is innocent and the punishment of his forefathers should not be given to him. Why is Charles arrested for the second time? Charles is arrested for the second time because the documents written by Dr. Manette are found. The court sentences him to death. From whom did Dr. Manette take help to save Charles? He took help from Sidney Carton to save Charles from hanging. Carton resembles Charles, so its resemblance helped Charles to escape from prison. How does Madame Deforge die? There is a fight between Miss Prose and Mrs. Deforge. Madame Deforge fires at Prose but dies of her own bullet. Who is Mr. Stever? Mr. Stever is a lawyer who fights the case of Charles. He is an ambitious person and marries a rich widow. He is also class fellow of Sydney. Whom does Miss Prose love? Miss Prose loves her brother Solomon much. She had been nursemaid of Lucy Manette. What do you know about Cruncher? Mr. Cruncher is a peon of Tellson Bank and sits outside the bank. He uses to sail dead bodies after pulling them out from graves. Who is Ernest Deforge? Ernest Deforge is the leader of revolutionaries. He is the owner of wine shop in a Paris suburb. He is French. Who does write the word blood on the wall? Gaspard writes the word blood on the wall with wine. He lives at Saint Antonia when his son is run down by Bracquus Evermount car, he murders him. What do you mean by La Force? The Force was a jail. It was for those who can't pay debt. Charles was also poisoned here. What was guillotine? Guillotine was a blade like a scissors. A person was laid between its blades. When the rope was loosened, the upper blade fell on the neck of the victim and cut his off in no time. ओके सो टेल ऑफ टू सिटीज़ के शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस भी कंप्लीट हो गए। तो इसकी समरी इंपॉर्टेंट जितने भी करैक्टर्स थे वो भी कंप्लीट हो गए, इंपॉर्टेंट शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस भी कवर कर लिए। ओके अल्लाह हाफिज़। सो कल एक नए नावल की शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस अपलोड करेंगे। अल्लाह हाफिज़।